Hello friends and welcome to the Figure Central. Today we're going to be looking at this 1/12 scale action figure of the new AI Agent. This version is no longer transparent like the previous one that I reviewed not too long ago. And it comes with an additional silicone body. Very excited to share this with you today, so let's get started. And by the way, the box on this looks just so cool. Very different than the previous one. And so you are getting like a solid, it's not transparent. Hair is blonde. Yeah, like see this is the original one. All of it was transparent. Cool. And of course the instructions. And this is the silicone body. So let's start with the silicone body and then we'll move on to the figure and then we'll go from there. So this is metal. So there is a metal skeleton on this. Very similar to the Animester figures that are out there. So very, yeah, this feels very solid. Really good articulation on this. See the squishiness there. A little magnet. So 2 additional pairs of hands. With the one in the body, it's a total of 3. So very detailed. The one with this glossy white look on the majority of the parts, and they did also paint the mechanical parts as well. And here are the magnets, so that, there we go. Okay, well let's go ahead and look at the articulation. I don't expect this to be any different than the previous one, but this is the forward movement of the head, pretty far. And backwards, that is the limit. Left and right. Turn. Turn. This is the sideways on the arm, shoulder there. And if you go forward and up, higher. This is the elbow. She's able to touch the shoulder. And of course there's a ball joint on the wrist. So a lot of movement there. This can also spin. And this can also spin. This is the forward crunch. And this little piece of the shoulder popped off, which connects there, and I'll put it back here in a little bit. But so it's forward, and then this is the backwards. So you get a lot of range, Look at that. All right, and then we have the legs. So the character is able to do full splits, forward all the way to the top and backwards. Pretty far back. This is the knee, so yeah, the thigh and the calf fully touch, they connect there. And then this the spin. Same thing with the ankle. So good range there as well. That is a crazy thing about this figure. The articulation is just insane how much the figure can do. And the fact that it can also stand without a stand is crazy, because the other one is able to get it to stand without a stand. There you go. All right, let's go ahead and look at the accessories. Here's the hair. So these pieces can be swapped out, so you can change the length. So this piece goes in the head. So it just covers up the hole. If you don't want to put the hair on there, and then if you want to put the hair, you remove it. Put the hair on this, you just remove the piece, and it'll just connect. A little section connects there with the head. Let's look at the eye movement. So here's a little key, you put it in there. First, we're going to start by removing the head. So I'll remove the face plate of the head. I would also remove the little shoulder pads here. Remove these two sections here that are connected to the neck. That's one. And there's the other one side. This can pop off. Next is going to be the arms. Hold it there. And then is the legs. So the legs, you're going to have to kind of twist. And then it'll pop out. You hold this, by the way, very, very tightly, the ball joint there. Let's put the arms first, and then we'll do the head. So I take these off, and these point up. And it just slides right in there. This piece, and just pops right in. Now let's do the legs. So I put everything in here, and there's definitely an issue with my version. So the issue is that the right leg, it will not fully connect. If you see, there's a big gap right there. It's not so much on the left. Still a little bit of a gap, but it's pretty noticeable on this one. I'm not sure why this is happening. There's definitely an issue with this leg itself, because if you grab this and you connect it here, it still connects fully snug. So this leg is able to connect all the way in on both sides. This one, not so much. So there's definitely something happening with the actual hole of the leg that's not allowing that rod to fully go through and really give us a full connection there. But yeah, something to be aware of when it comes to putting this together. Alrighty friends, so here we are at the final thoughts. So we'll look at the pros and then into the opportunities. So the first thing I'm going to point out is that as far as the original body, now they painted it. It looks phenomenal, the paint job they gave us. The articulation is still the same as the previous version, so kudos to them for maintaining that same quality control when it came to the original body. And again, I really love the paint job that they gave us. The metal accents are a lot darker, and they gave us like this glossy white on the rest of the body, so it looks really, really cool. The original version had this silver face as an additional face, which made it look more Android-like, and they did not do that for this new release, so they didn't throw that in there. I'm curious why. I mean, it's just a small face. I don't think it would have added a lot to the cost, but something to keep in mind. Another thing is that this version did have magnets in its feet, so that it sticks to the magnet base that they give you. The original one that I got, at least, didn't have magnets in the feet, so when I got the base, I thought it was just a refrigerator magnet. I didn't know it was a base. So I'm glad that they corrected that. And the other one is the sword. They did change the color of the blade to a light blue in comparison to the original one is just completely clear. So that was kind of cool to kind of give you a little bit of a difference on the design. The silicone body itself, that's the one where you run into some issues, and specifically in the legs, like the arms and the head, they all connected just fine, nice and snug. But the legs, there was some significant gaps, at least on the right side mostly, but it's still there on the left side as well. Now, theoretically, you could go in there and maybe drill a little more into the plastic part of the leg so that the rods will fit in, or you could maybe cut the rods, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, I mentioned that because that could be a solution, but I hope that the manufacturer is watching this and they know that this is something that's going on. I'm curious to see if anybody else picked this up. If you have the same issue, please comment below. I like to keep track of stuff like that. But outside of that, the silicone body also gives us a lot of awesome articulation. Very, very close to what you get with the original body, which is crazy. And it feels very solid. The movement is nice and stiff, as you would expect from a metal skeleton. And the last thing is more of a personal one. When I pre-ordered this particular version was because the promo picture showed it to be a clear, transparent silicone. I've never seen the figure do that. So I really was looking forward to that. And then last minute, they released the photos, and then all of a sudden now it was a flesh tone and it was no longer clear. So to me, I was a little disappointed with that. Again, I don't hate this version. I think this version is fine. And I think that they would have maybe given you an option of like, hey, we're also going to be making a flesh tone one in conjunction with the transparent one. But they didn't do that. They just kind of pulled a bit of a switcheroo. So I would have loved to have seen a transparent version. And maybe that's just me. I like the whole Android theme. Outside of those things, I'm still happy with this purchase. I don't regret buying it. And by the way, if anybody is interested in picking this up, I will leave a link in the description of the video and also at the end of my video. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy the content that I'm making, please consider liking, commenting, or sharing. Perhaps hitting the subscription notification bell if you haven't done that already. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care of yourselves out there, and bye-bye.